Well, welcome back. I hope everybody else had a good Christmas. I didn't really. So, I guess I'm going to talk about that and kind of scream into the void of the internet. Um, my history with Christianity has been a little difficult at times, especially with evangelical Christianity as it's practiced today. So there's a local church that my wife attends and takes our kids to that I want nothing to do with. And they made an intrusion into our life last Friday that was really very it wasn't helpful. I think that's a charitable way to put it. For a little personal context, this church, when my wife and I went through a period of separation, they offered to buy her a house and move the kids away. Her and the kids, move them away because I'm transgender, and they thought that the marriage should be broken and the family should be broken because they could not accept that a family would have somebody who's transgender in it. That I should be removed from the family and the family should be removed from me. I view these people as predatory, and I see them as the lowest form of scumbags. They really are. My own personal code of ethics or moral code, if I think of the worst kind of people that try to break up marriages and break up families, they're at the top of the list. They are just the worst kind of people there is. So last Christmas, they decided to give our kids a bunch of gifts because they had identified us as a less fortunate family in need. And we were upset by that last Christmas. And because I do pretty well financially. I'm the sole income earner for our family. But we do well. I make very good money. And our house is paid off. Our vehicles are paid off. We didn't have any debt. Even though we're a big family, but I'm making good money. We don't have a house payment, no car payment, no credit card payments, no any of that stuff. We're buying groceries, we're paying utilities, we're paying property taxes, we're paying insurance. We're sitting pretty good. And this year, they showed up at our house unannounced last Friday to embarrass us again. Right as I was about to sit down for my annual review with my boss. I had a web meeting with my boss for my annual review. My wife was horrified. She was so embarrassed. She was in tears. She was crying. I'm trying to calm her down. My web meeting's starting. I'm upset, and I'm trying to talk to my boss, and I had to apologize to him because the house is just in chaos. Not to blow my own horn, but to put things in context, in January alone, December alone, so this month, I've grossed over $37,000 in 1 month. Okay? Now, not every month is that good, but financially we're doing fine. We're not hurting for money. especially with no house payment, no any payments other than recurring payments like utilities and groceries and things like that. And these people don't know me at all. They've never met me. They don't know. The only thing they know about me is I'm transgender. And they hate that. My wife has been taking the kids there for I think over 2 years now. Close to 2 years. And they don't even know her well enough to know that we're not destitute. We are doing fine financially. And to emphasize that they do not know me, when the guy showed up, I answered the door. And he said, "Oh, which one of the kids are you? I don't think I've met you before." And I told him, "I'm 42 years old. I'm the father of the kids here." I was really offended. Somebody that doesn't even know me shows up at my house and tells me, "Well, we brought gifts because we had identified that your family is in need." Now, I know I've talked about just even recently helping those in need, and that I do think that's important. But you don't make assumptions about people. And you don't take action based on assumptions. If I think somebody's in need, I talk to them first, and I find out what the situation is, and hopefully I actually know the people before I decide I'm going to do anything. I don't just walk up to random strangers and be like, "You know what? You look like shit. Here's a gift because you're obviously poor." Now, the book of James talks about giving preferential treatment to people who dress fancily and things like that. And this is essentially what they did, only kind of the inverse was they are behaving based on what they think of us. We don't dress fancily. We live very modestly. We drive old cars. Most of our clothes are from secondhand stores because we just don't see the point in buying a bunch of expensive clothing. We don't need it. I cannot emphasize enough that I hate contemporary evangelical Christianity, that the same people who will vote for somebody like Kim Reynolds, who's the governor of Iowa, because she's a Republican, and as Christians, you've got to vote Republican, you know. Like, she just said the reason that she voted against giving funding for $40 a month for low-income families to help feed their kids during summer when they're home from school, the reason she voted against that is because she thinks low-income kids are too fat and that they ought to go hungry a bit. Now, I paraphrase that last part, but that's basically what she said. She said that we should not be spending the money on this because there is an obesity epidemic among low-income people. And that's the kind of thing that Christians tend to support. You know, for reasons I don't fully understand, evangelical Christians tend to vote Republican. And this is what Republicans do. And then right after they'll do something like that, after they vote for people who do things like this, they'll go out and try to, I don't know, I guess they try to go out and soothe their own conscience or something by finding families who actually are not in need and giving them gifts, while they ignore the people who actually are in need and don't know them There are families right around that church on the same street who are in need. There are families in need that they don't know, that they don't reach out to. They don't spend any time with. That makes me sick. So anyway, this video is mostly just me venting. Like I said, just screaming into the void of the internet because it's cathartic, I guess. It makes me feel bad in a couple ways. One, resources were wasted on people who didn't need it. Our family's doing fine. We have access to everything we need in abundance. But two, these people don't even know me. They have no idea what I do for a living, how much money I make, our financial situation. I am certain that financially we are better off than the majority of the people even going to that church. And that's not really the issue, but it's that they don't know us. If you're gonna get gifts for somebody, that's a pretty personal thing. That's something you do for people you actually know. And it feels like virtue signaling to me. You know, look what we did. We gave poor people gifts. You know, they did it to make themselves feel good. It sure didn't make us feel good. It was a very unwelcome intrusion into our life. On a day when I was trying to have a web meeting with my boss for my annual review. And, you know, to make matters worse, I can't stand these people. After what they did when we were separated, you know, I was fighting for our marriage. I didn't want to be separated. And these people were actively trying to end our marriage and break up our family. They are monsters in my estimation. I don't even know if they should be called humans. That is a degenerate level of, I don't even know what the right word is to describe that kind of behavior. Trying to break up a marriage and break up a family for no other reason than you don't like one of the people in the family because they happen to be something that you don't like. That's disgusting. That is disgusting. Then you show up at my house with gifts for my kids because you think that I don't provide for them, that I'm not making a decent living to support my family. When in fact I'm doing quite well. Contemporary evangelical Christianity is an offense to the nation and to the world. Be very frank about that. I look at something like what God said to the Church of Laodicea in Revelation chapter 3. That they thought they were rich, they thought they were well off, they thought that they had everything. And he said, you don't know that you're actually poor, miserable, wretched, blind, and naked. That's what I think when I see these churches, especially this one. You don't understand how the rest of the world sees you. The rest of the world sees you for what you are. You are wretched and you're disgusting. Anyway, thanks for letting me ramble. Thanks for letting me vent. I'm going to get on with my day now. So, I hope you had a great Christmas, even if I didn't, and have a great New Year. Bye.